What's up? What's up? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. It is I, Coach Kyle, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Maps Coach, Bold Coach, all the things. And I have made it back. Made it back to the land of the USA. Vacation was great, and yet we've got stuff to do today, man. I am back, and we are going to dive in this morning. Happy Friday to you. I wanted to touch base with you before you made your way into the weekend. Sprinkle a little learning, maybe sprinkle a little wisdom. See if you can take some of these nuggets back with you and apply them this week coming up, or maybe even this weekend. Guys, whoo, let me tell you something. Going on vacation with small children and a wife out of your league can be difficult. It can be challenging. And as I was reflecting this morning on everything that transpired and distilling the information and the experience, seeing what I could take out of it, one of the things that I came up with, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is how vacation can model, mirror, parallel what it's like to run a business. Stick with me here. For instance, let's say, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, of course, you're on a cruise to Mexico with your family, your small children. There's sun, there's waves, there's tacos, there's music, maybe a little laughter. There's all these beautiful moments. And yet, there's spilled juice. There's chocolate melting in places it shouldn't melt. There's delayed naps or no naps at all. There's sunburns. There's overstimulation. There's the occasional breakdown. Kids, maybe parents too. But hey, hypothetically speaking, of course, guys, you're in paradise and yet you're still parenting. You see, the truth of the matter is that vacation doesn't cancel life. It reveals our ability to lead in less controlled environments. And I don't know if your life is anything like mine, but I sure can't control a lot or even control a lot of the things that I desire to control. I can only control what I can. If we think about this, man, we think about the duality of joy and chaos and how it shows up in life, in leadership, in business. We got to realize that it's not always just about choosing ease and getting rid of effort. They go hand in hand, unfortunately, or hey, fortunately, depending on how you look at it. The most successful people, guys, they don't escape hard. They learn how to carry joy and hard at the same time. There's a rule in psychology, and especially if we're thinking about our journey in life or our journey in business, or if you want to take a small snapshot of it, a vacation, there's an idea called the peak end rule. Essentially what it states, my understanding is, people remember peaks more than they remember valleys. People remember high emotional intensity more than they remember, just the plateau, the normal things that are going on. It's very interesting when you think about it, because there are times, talking about myself, when you can be on vacation in paradise and still want to crawl in a ball and wait for the chaos to pass. And if you focus too much on the chaos in that moment, that will be your peak. That will be your memory. Instead of learning to go with the dichotomy that is vacation, that is life, and know that there are the good moments that come with the bad, and how do you focus on the good moments? How do you focus on the moments of peace? How do you focus on the moments of joy, making that your peak, making that your memory, making that your baseline, as opposed to waiting in lines? Let me tell you something, guys, something I know very clearly about myself. I do not like lines. I would rather stub my baby toe on a piece of furniture than wait in a line. And yet, a lot of life can be found waiting in lines. You got to take the good with the bad. Which part are you going to focus on? When you think about the peak end rule, people remember when you're looking back on your memories, your life experiences, those peaks. When you think about this journey in business or this journey in leadership or your vacation or your life, you are going to look back on the peaks more than the neutrals, more than the plateaus. So my question to you is this: are you building the right peaks? Are you letting go of the stuff that doesn't matter? Are you learning how to balance the joy and the chaos? Because if you just focus on the chaos, that's going to be your memory anchor moving forward. When you look back on your life, that's going to be the anchor. There are moments of peace immediately followed by chaos. They're unexpected detours. And sometimes you got to pivot your plans. One of the things that I've taken away from Gary Keller in this new bold is the idea that life isn't fair, right? And he has this great saying: what you think life should be and what life actually is are two very different things. A vision of how your vacation should feel and a reality of how it actually unfolds, more often than not, are two different things. Your business, a vision of how it should feel, and the reality of how it actually unfolds are two different things. Are you going to find the joy in the chaos? Are you going to be able to hold on to the joy, the peaks, the great points, even when there's a storm blowing around you? Sometimes you're going to have to do a little coaching on your break. Sometimes when you disconnect, sometimes when you take those moments, things in your world can still break down. Sometimes you're trying to rest and recharge and relax, and you can't shut your brain off from catching new ideas about your business, about your leadership, about what to do next. That's the duality of life. The best leaders, they don't run from the tension, they train for it. They understand that it is just natural. If you need conditions to be perfect, you're rarely going to act. You're rarely going to soak in life because conditions will never be perfect. There's always going to be a little chaos. Our growth comes from our ability to lead in that motion. Our growth comes from the ability to focus on the right peaks. If you're looking for some lessons from me, from parenting that apply to business that I took away from this trip, buckle up, Buttercup. I got 3 of them for you. Number 1 is this: presence wins over perfection. Whether you're talking about parenting, whether you're talking about a vacation, whether you're talking about business, whether you're talking about key personal relationships, presence wins over perfection. Kids, they don't remember the schedule. They don't remember the itinerary. They remember your smile. They remember your energy. Clients, teams, they don't remember the scripts. They remember how you felt, what it was like to dance in your aura, what it was like to be around you. Presence wins over perfection. How you showing up, ladies and gentlemen, even when it's chaotic, even when it feels like the sun is trying to kill you. How you showing up? My second takeaway, my second nugget for you: control is an illusion. Control is an illusion. Adaptability is power. Are you on vacation and the kids aren't napping? Cool, you adapt. Did you miss your excursion? You pivot. Did you get a little too much sun on the buns? Great. You figure out a way to go out the next day. In business, do deals fall through? Yeah, you reposition. Does the market shift? Yes, you evolve. Do you want to be Blockbuster or Netflix? Adaptability is the real flex, because the truth of the matter is we can control far less than we desire. You can't cry over spilled milk. You just clean it up. You go get some juice. Are we working on our ability to be adaptable, to take what comes from this life, from this business, and flow with it and grow with it? Or are we sitting there fighting the unfortunate reality that we can't control everything? The choice is yours. The third one that I'll give you today, I need you to fill your cup with the good so you don't spill out the rage. I need you to fill your cup with the joy. I need you to fill your cup with peace, with happiness, with things that light you up. So when life bumps into you, which it will, the right things come spilling out your cup. You can't be a good dad burned out. You can't be a good leader burned out. This is why rest isn't weak. It's required maintenance for greatness. Protect your recharge, even if it's imperfect. And when I'm talking about recharging, guys, I'm not saying that, hey, you got to go on a day vacation every single week. I'm not saying that you need to disappear for a week each month. I'm saying, where's your 5 minutes? Where's your 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Where's an hour of time in your calendar where you can make sure that your feet are on the ground, your head is screwed on tight, and you're pointed in the right direction? You took a breath of the good. So when the world shows up, you're not spilling out rage. Fill your cup with the good. Those are my three takeaways, man. Presence wins over perfection. Control is an illusion, and adaptability is power. And finally, fill your cup with the good so you don't spill out the rage. Now, as we're landing this plane, we're figuring out how to tactically put all this stuff away. I need you to take inventory. Where do you expect peace but need to train for pressure? It was such an interesting thought for me looking back on this past week. Where do you expect peace but you need to train for pressure? I truly believe that a qualification for marriage, or just a long partnership, is you guys need to go travel somewhere. And I don't mean like hop on an easy plane and just get off at a beautiful destination. I mean like go travel somewhere. I need the pressure. I need some wrong turns. I need a map that doesn't work. I need a flat tire. There you can truly see the person. Luckily, I chose right? You know what I mean? Shout out, babe. But where do you expect peace? And you should be training for pressure. Where are you being too strict with others and not enough with yourself? Is it your listing presentations? Is it your morning routines? Is it your client calls? Do you prep for calm or do you prepare for chaos? I would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Another idea for you to think about is I want you to do a vacation debrief every 90 days. A vacation debrief every 90 days. Whether you went on an actual vacation or not, ladies and gentlemen, follow along with me. I want you to ask yourself, what did you learn from being out of routine when it showed up? What did you learn from that? What did you take away from that? One of the things that I understand is that if I take an extended time away, some things are going to break down. That is to be expected. In fact, I kind of hope that they do, because it's letting me see where a weak point was that we can fix. It's not a negative if you choose it to not be. It's a positive. It's a learning experience. It's a growth, but you're going to miss it if you don't take time to debrief and ask yourself a simple question. What did I learn from being out of routine? The next question that I think we should all ask, maybe even daily, maybe not 90 days, is what control do I still cling to that isn't helping me? What control am I still clinging to, longing for, that isn't actually helping? That's a tough question sometimes, because a lot of times we don't want to answer it. Another great question to ask, and again, this one can be so much more frequent than every 90 days, and yet it's a powerful one we shouldn't ignore. Where did I find joy I didn't expect? Where did I find joy that I didn't expect? You see, I think the power is in the presence, but I also think the power is in reflection. I think we should take time to debrief, to be with our thoughts, to wrestle with our emotions and our memories and our feelings and find the nuggets and find the way forward. That's where growth happens. Another tactical takeaway that I'll give you is I believe that we should all schedule micro recharges. Not everyone can take a cruise every quarter. Not everyone can fly off every quarter, but everyone can take 90 minutes. You can take 90 minutes a week. Maybe it's one deep conversation. Maybe it's a deep conversation with your spouse. Maybe it's a deep conversation with your mama. Maybe it's a deep conversation with a friend. Have some time to actually bask in the connection. That is a recharge. That fills your cup. Doesn't have to be Cabo, but it can be a conversation. How about a whole day without your phone? I actively worked to not be on my phone this trip. And let me tell you, there was a day or so that I was like, I don't know if I want to pick it back up. You might be lucky to actually see me today. I didn't know if I was coming back. I joke, but I'm not. Can you go a day without your phone every now and then to recharge, to reflect, to just be where your feet are? To not be losing attention and losing your presence every ping of this device that goes off? Can you go on a walk without an agenda? These micro recharges, they reset your soul, ladies and gentlemen. They give you space to hear again, to feel again, to think again, to breathe again. It's not rocket science. And yet we overcomplicate it so much. You don't have to wait for a vacation a month from now to take a micro recharge. Can you find 30 minutes, 90 minutes on your calendar? One of the things that I hear from people a lot is, I just don't have time. I know. You got to find the time or you got to make the time. It feels counterintuitive because what you're hearing me maybe saying is, Kyle, I'm so busy. And what you're asking me to do is make more time. Yes. That is exactly what I'm telling. I'm telling you to make some time to recharge because you at 90% operates better than you at 30%. And yet we tell ourselves that that's not the case all the time, every day. Even if it's you sleeping a little less to do this, I call it doing selfish things at an unselfish hour. Where is it for you? This is how you lead. This is how you deal with the joy in the chaos. This is how you get that vacation energy every day of your life. This is how you understand that nothing is going to be perfect and yet it can still be beautiful. Guys, tying this all together, you're not crazy if your vacation wasn't perfect. You're not crazy or a terrible leader if your business isn't perfect. You're not failing if joy is sometimes laced with exhaustion. This is life. This is leadership. And if you can hold joy and chaos with your family in tight quarters, floating in the middle of the ocean, you can lead your business through storms, let me tell you. You can guide your clients through uncertainty. You can coach others while still figuring yourself out. The people who win aren't the ones who eliminate all chaos. They're the ones who stop waiting for peace before they move. I truly believe that a lot of success in business and in life is not necessarily getting rid of chaos, it's being able to deal with chaos better. It's raising your central nervous system to deal with stress better. Because it doesn't go away. That's a fairy tale. But just because it's there doesn't mean it has to be the end or the worst or some terrible thing. Remember, vacation doesn't cancel your life, it reveals your leadership in motion. Joy and chaos, they're not enemies, they're invitations to growth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, adaptability is the highest level of strength. It's great to be back with you this morning. It's great to spend some time together, knocking the rust off, getting back in the flow. I can't wait to be with you Monday morning where we dive back into the G.R.O.W show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, go embrace the joy and the chaos this weekend. Focus on the right peaks. Avoid the valleys if you can, but understand that they're going to come. And they don't have to be the end or the worst, because you can always find some joy in it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy Friday to you. Kyle Evans signing off today. Go make it a great one.